Well, it's been removed from gasoline and some paint, but lead is still all around us, hidden in everything from the food we eat to the toys our kids play with.
And in some cities like Baltimore, for example, it's estimated that as many as 1 in 25 kids has elevated levels of lead in their blood. That's causing everything from lower IQ and developmental problems to heightened risks of cancer.
Senior investigative reporter Lisa Fletcher discovered deep in the new White House budget is the elimination of federal funds, providing a first line of defense for testing and tracking lead poisoning in America.
Yeah, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Rudy Callahan is a happy, active toddler with no idea he's being actively watched and tracked because he was poisoned by an invisible threat.
We're constantly monitoring and looking for signs of lead poisoning.
The reason Rudy's family found out they were among hundreds whose kids were exposed to the same source of concentrated high levels of lead was because of a national surveillance system. Vital information funded from the National Center for Environmental Health, or NCEH, an agency set to be eliminated in the new White House budget.
What would that mean to kids if that happened?
I mean, it would be horrible. It would be awful. It's definitely going to negatively impact child health in the United States.
Dr. Monica Mehta detected lead in Rudy's blood during a routine test, the likes of which are often funded by those federal dollars from NCEH. The White House says its work is duplicative or simply unnecessary.
So it's definitely not unnecessary. It is very necessary. This is the United States. We protect our children at all costs, and routine surveillance, routine screening, making sure that we are testing children is part of keeping them healthy.
The testing and tracking NCEH funds support enabled investigators to connect lead poisoning cases nationwide, including Rudy Callahan, to cinnamon applesauce loaded with lead. It triggered a massive recall, preventing the ongoing poisoning of kids.
If we don't have these environmental protection agencies that are looking for these hot spots, we're never going to be able to catch these sorts of poisonings, and we're potentially going to impact so many more children.
The White House says NCEH programs can be conducted more effectively by states. So we asked. We contacted every state health department in the country. Nearly half of states that responded said cutting federal funds will harm their ability to protect kids from lead, noting the funds are crucial and critical, and losing them would be detrimental to the health of children.
We did this before, and it turned out badly.
Tom Neltner is a leading authority on lead exposure and national director of Unleaded Kids, a nonprofit addressing gaps in U.S. lead policy.
As part of the budget cuts back in 2012, 2014, the Obama administration chose to cut the grants to states and to trim back the lead program because it would be picked up by other programs.
It wasn't. In 2014, the city of Flint, Michigan switched its source of drinking water from Detroit's system to the contaminated Flint River, exposing more than 10,000 children to dangerous levels of lead. Neltner says federal funding cuts 2 years earlier eliminated the jobs of those who would have tracked and noticed rising lead levels in kids' test results, slowing the response to the Flint crisis.
We went blind to Flint because we didn't have the state-level people that were watching for the problems. So we've seen this story before. We know how it plays out, and it's a bad story for children's health.
A story Rudy's mom says we'd be wise to learn from, because once the damage is done, it cannot be unwound.
It still makes you really emotional.
It does.
Why is that?
Because it's something that Rudy's going to have to live with for the rest of his life.
We reached out to the Office of Management and Budget and HHS to find out more about the cuts, and we did not receive a response.
All right, so is this by any stretch a done deal?
Not necessarily. Congress has final authority over the White House budget, so they could elect to continue funding these programs. We're just going to have to wait and see.
All right, stay on top of it. Thank you, Lisa. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.